So week 4 of NFL action kicked off on Thursday night when the Giants battled the Cowboys, and the action continues with games on Sunday. Got the Jets in action, also a Monday night slate of 2 games. So let's talk about the best bets for the rest of the week 4 contest. We're going to do that with New York Post betting analyst Erich Richter, sports betting analyst, who joins me on this edition of Hittin the Books. Erich, what's going on?
Dexter, very excited. Week 4, it goes by fast. It goes by fast. Feels
Look,
like yesterday was the first game of the year.
It does. Feels like yesterday was a preseason. Feels like it was the start of training camp. It is all just blown by. Here we are, just about a quarter of the way through the season. I'm going to start on the week 4 talk. We're going to start with Gang Green. They're going to host the 1-2 Broncos on Sunday afternoon. Denver, they come into this game as 7.5-point underdogs. The over-under is 39.5 here. So Vegas likes the Jets to win by more than a touchdown. Erich, do you see the Jets covering this spread easily, or is there another bet that you like for this matchup?
Nah, I'm on the Jets to cover this one at 7.5. They have 10 days to prepare for this one. Denver has been on the road for 2 weeks now. I believe that they're in West Virginia, so they didn't fly all the way back to Denver. So it's not a cross-country trip, but they've been on the road for quite a while. When you look at this matchup, it's Bo Nix against Robert Saleh's defense, Sauce Gardner, the whole thing. The Jets are 3rd rated against the pass according to Pro Football Focus. I think that the Jets win this one going away. I actually think the Jets are a Super Bowl contender this year. I was giving that out preseason. I think they roll in this one at home, 10 days to prepare. Aaron Rodgers versus Bo Nix. I think this one's a layup for the Jets. I think that they win by 10 or more.
All right, Erich has this as an easy layup bet. Take the Jets to cover this one by double digits. We'll see if the Jets can do that on Sunday. Okay, Erich, let's take a look at the Sunday night matchup. We got the undefeated Bills. They're going to visit the Ravens. This should be a good one. Baltimore won its first game of the season in week 3. They are 2.5-point favorites at home. Buffalo saw around plus 115 on the money line with an over-under for this one at 46.5. In your eyes, what's the best bet for this Sunday night showdown?
In full disclosure, when you're betting on the NFL, it's the most efficient betting market of any sport, right? So you have to understand that there's only going to be limited edges, especially in a game like this, where it's Bills versus Ravens, the number 1 team in DVOA for the Bills, the number 5 DVO team for the Ravens. These are 2 teams that are really, really good. Both of them expect to go deep into the playoffs. This might even be a playoff preview. This is basically a playoff game. The Ravens really need it. So in my column for the New York Post, which goes live on Sunday, I have full predictions out. I believe that the Ravens win. They are minus 2.5. I'll take the minus 2.5. I believe that the Bills win by a field goal. But this is a razor thin, a couple plays here or there. Another good bet that I like the unders. Unders for Buffalo are hitting at a 54.5% rate since 2021. The Ravens are slightly even above that, about 56%. So unders are a little bit more favorable for both of these teams. I think that this is a playoff match. I think these 2 teams have a lot of respect for each other. I don't expect this to be an offensive showcase. I think that the defenses here will prevail a little bit. So I'll go under 46.5. But again, this is a razor thin matchup. You might even just want to watch the game and enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about ask you about that. Maybe this is one you just want to stay away, just enjoy it, maybe not have some stress. But if you want to make a bet, that under 46.5 could be a good look with both of these defenses. All right, on Monday night, the latter of the 2 Monday night games has the undefeated Seahawks visiting the 2-1 Lions. Now, the hometown team in the Lions, they are favorites by 3.5 points here. Over under 46.5 again for this one. Are you going with the Lions to cover, or do you like Seattle pulling off the upset in the Motor City?
So the way that I view this one's very interesting, right? Jared Goff has been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He's rated 25th in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus. Geno Smith's a top 7 quarterback on that same website. So, and that's a highly respected number. So for me, I think that the Seahawks are getting a little bit, not quite enough respect. I think the Lions have been getting too much respect coming into the year. Jared Goff has not been excellent. This year, Seattle Seahawks is the number 1 rated team overall in the entire NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. I'm going to go with the Seahawks plus 3.5. And, big reason for it is I think that the run defenses here are very good. Lions have one of the best run defenses in the league, averaging less than 3.5 yards a carry. And the Seahawks have been very strong in that area as well. They're both 2 top 10 run defenses. So, the way that I look at it is, if Detroit's not going to be able to run the ball effectively, they're going to have to rely on Jared Goff. I don't personally like to bet on Jared Goff. I would rather bet on Geno Smith. I like their weapons better. So for me, I'm going to take 3.5. I'm going to go with Seattle. I think they win outright by a field goal.
All right, going with Seattle here. Dogs on the road. We'll see if they can get it done. Last thing for me, Eric, you know I like player prop picks. And so give me your best player prop picks for this weekend that you think sports bettors should keep an eye on. What you got?
So I'm a big prop guy. I have a weekly prop column that comes out every Saturday as well on the New Post website, and my ROI on it is 16.5% over the last 2 years. We've cashed out on props, and the way that I do that is I'll take, they're called ladders, right? So like you take an over or under at -110, -120, but if you really like it, you really want to go over that number. So do an alternate yardage prop. So for today, I have Brock Purdy over 6.5 rushing yards. He's cleared that number in 6 straight games. He had 10 carries for 41 yards last week. The guy has been running the ball without McCaffrey, without Debo. There's not a whole lot else there. He needs to run the ball in order to get the chains moving a little bit more. He seems more comfortable doing that. Again, 6 straight games, he's over that number. So we're going to go over 6.5. It's -110, widely available. BetMGM, DraftKings, whatever you use. Now for the alternate yardage prop, a little bit more juicy, 25 plus rushing yards, +700. He's cleared that number in 2 of his last 5 games. And, +700 is a steal, especially considering he ran the ball 10 times last week for 41 yards. This is I joked in my article as a slam dunk, home run, max parlay bet. Like this is the one that I like this one a lot. Nothing's a lock at +700, but value wise, I mean, I projected this one at +350. So I'll take the +700 bet. I love that one. Yeah, I bet it personally, the whole thing.
All right, so got to tell you this. We did not talk about this just to let the viewers know. In my weekly player prop picks, I had Brock Purdy, had the line a little bit lower, over 6.5 rushing yards. Loved it for some of the reasons that you mentioned there. Also, all the quarterbacks, just so people know this, they're going against the Pats. The Niners are all the quarterbacks that the Patriots have gone up against. They've cleared the number of 7.5 or 6.5 this year. Even Aaron Rodgers, who's coming off of an Achilles tear, he had 18 rushing yards against the Pats. So I love Purdy in the spot. You and I were aligned. We're on the same page there, and I love that ladder play. That's a good one there, too. Check out Erich Richter. He does great work. nypost.com can check out all the sports betting analysts. And as he said, great ROI on those player props. So you definitely want to rock with him on those for sure. Erich, always a pleasure to talk to you on Hitting the Books. We'll do it again soon. Thank you, man.
My guy Dex is sharp. Thanks, man.
Always.